What up, YouTube? Timmers here. Since this month I'm doing my reviews for past April films, here's my review for the 2001 comedy Freddy Got Fingered. Freddy Got Fingered premiered back on April 20th, 2001. Pretty much it's 20 years old this week. Alright. Now, I'm going to say this now. I do love comedies. I even like, I love hip-hop comedies. I actually do love comedies by Adam Sandler, Eddie Murphy. I'm a big comedy guy. But not every comedy is good. There are comedies that I find to be terrible. Son of the Mask is one of them. And Freddy Got Fingered is one of them. Freddy Got Fingered, I remember watching this thing on TV one time. This is one of the worst comedies to ever get released. Holy cow, this movie sucks. It's horrible. The film stars and is directed by Tom Green, who's been popular back in the days. I mean, come on, he was married to Drew Barrymore, so obviously he had someone there. But Freddy Got Fingered is just, it's a bad film. The script is terrible. Tom Green's acting in this, holy cow, Tom Green was terrible. I mean, he was actually pretty good in the movie Road Trip, though. Remember Tom Green in the film Road Trip? He was good in that. But him in this was not so good. Here you got Tom Green, who plays Gord Brody, who is a struggling cartoonist who's trying to pitch a anime show to Hollywood executives. But when he, fails, he ends up returning to his hometown with no chance but to live with his parents and his younger brother Freddy, played by Eddie Kai Thomas, who you might know as Finch from the American Pie films. He also lives with his father, played by the late great Rip Doran, and he doesn't really like approve of Gord's career path, and so he pursues him to gain independence. And as the father and son exchange bonds, Gord ends up coming up with a line that changes everything here, and he ends up claiming that his I'm not even joking. He ends up claiming that his father molested his little brother Freddy to gain, which leads to drastic consequences. The humor in this is a dumb film. It's one of the most dumbest films you'll ever want to see. You also had Anthony Michael Hall was in this. Uh, you also had Marissa Callahan. Julie Harry portrayed the role of Gord's mother. You even had Drew Barrymore, who of course was then Tom Green's fiance back in the days. I think they were married. I can't remember if they were married or just engaged. I didn't check that. You even had Mickey Milkovich himself. Noel Fisher had a little cameo in this. It was always pretty cool to see a young Noel Fisher there. Shaquille O'Neal plays himself. You had Holland Williams. I mean, this movie just did not. This definitely was not so good. I mean, it was tone deaf. It's horrible. The title is bad as well. If I did a list of top 10 worst comedies of all time, Freddy Got Fingered will be in that list. It's a bad film. I mean, I'm not. It's very embarrassing. I'm not gonna say offensive because it is a very pointless film. It's a deranged, horrible chaos film. I mean, this is probably a movie that would not get made today. Believe it or not. Because there are themes in this. Like, I don't find anything offensive so easily. So, I'm not saying I'm gonna hate. I hate because it's offensive, but still, I mean, the movie, of course, has a 10% Rotten Tomatoes. I believe it's scored for Razzies, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta check that. But Tom Green, I mean, shame that Tom Green doesn't do anything in Hollywood anymore, but yeah, this movie's definitely did not help Tom Green with his career at all. And, it's definitely a pretty bad film, not worth watching at all. One of the worst movies of all time, one of the worst comedies of all time. I mean, the movie is like so tone deaf. It doesn't really go anywhere. I mean, Tom Green, of course, plays a 26-year-old guy, and for some reason you cannot really find him as a 26-year-old. But yeah, definitely a pretty bad one. I mean, the movie premiered all the way back in 2001, and it's still a pretty bad film. So yeah, if you haven't really seen Freddy Got Fingered, you don't need to see Freddy Got Fingered. You know, Freddy Got Fingered enough. So yeah. Anyway, let me ask you guys: have you ever seen the Tom Green classic Freddy Got Fingered? If so, what's of it? Were you ever a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Are you like me? Do you think it's one of the worst comedies of all time? Do you have like some fond memories with this movie? Or like, did you actually have some favorite moments, some favorite scenes in this? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Simu signing.